team in free agency to beat us.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember.
You know,
Sanders.
so that, but nobody wants to use that. I mean, they took our best asset in Ken Norton and plugged it into them.
Yeah, I remember. Yep.
A guy who knows our defense, who called our defense. So every time we would make a check, you could see Steve Young already knew the check.
Yeah.
You know, so you have one of our key components to our success playing for them. You know, they try to make it out like Deion did something. Deion Sanders went over. Those dudes kind of like, you know, Beckham right now. Some dudes are just searching for Super Bowls. And they put a Super Bowl squad together.
Yeah.
To beat the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to beat your nemesis. You're supposed to beat who?
Yeah.
You know, so you got to give that organization credit for what they did. And if we would have been healthy, it would have been a different game.
Yeah.
But we wasn't. And they built a team to beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Just like Jimmy built a team to beat the Washington Redskins and the Giants.
That's right. Right.
So, you know, that's what football is. And that's good coaching. That's good management. That's what you're supposed to do, is beat the team that stops you from getting to the championship. And San Francisco, giving them credit, they did just that. And we only asked Barry Switzer to coach for one game, and he fucked that one up. Sorry for cussing. He did.
All right. Yeah, you failed. You had the best chance to win 3 in a row, which has not been done at all in the Super Bowl era. So that was your final game personally for yourself. You go to Washington Redskins. What went wrong with that? Like, what made you want to go to Redskins? Like, what went wrong with not staying with Dallas?
Well, I mean, first of all, it was man, you know, Darren Woodson had came into his own, and they wanted to move in a different direction with younger players, and they wanted me. I had already, I think in '93, I had played that backup role, and it was not. I still wanted to be a starter, and they wanted me, and they just didn't want to give me the money that I felt that I deserved, as they were giving guys certain kind of money. I think, you know, Alvin Harper, I think Kenny Gant. I mean, guys that was big impact players in different facets of the Dallas building the championship, but they chose the guys that they wanted to pay, and then there was guys that they didn't want to play. And that's the only thing. I mean, I wanted to retire as a Cowboy. I mean, I enjoy being a Cowboy. I enjoy still being a Cowboy and being known for being a Cowboy. But like you say, man, doing that free agency, it destroys teams. It destroys legacies. But the positive about free agency is that these guys wouldn't be getting this kind of money if it was never created.
Yeah.
So it's like a give and take. You know, guys that played before me, you know, but you want to have that opportunity to showcase your talent. Norv Turner and I had been together. Norv and Turner coached with the Rams when I was there. Norv Turner, who was the head coach of Washington Redskins, coached in Dallas when I was there. And he wanted to bring an attitude on defense, so he brought me in to try to teach some of the young guys there. But they wasn't the Washington Redskins that I had known and I had learned to fear and was prepared. It was a different kind of Washington Redskin team. Yeah, I was expecting to go to a Washington Redskin team that I had competed against for many years. But the cool thing is that, you know, I can say this, is that playing against the Dallas Cowboys, I never lost to them as a Washington Redskin. We beat them actually twice.
Yeah.
That year.
Yeah.
So, because just like San Francisco, you know all the ins and outs, you know all the calls, you know the checks.
Yeah.
So you prepare, and they still went on to win the championship. Yeah. But that particular year, I know 2 losses came from Washington.
Yeah. Okay. Before I let you go, Reason why I want to have you on because those Dallas Cowboys teams were special. Um, Talk about Alvin Harper, man. What he could have been if he would have stayed a Cowboy because he was a great receiver. He just didn't do it enough. Talk about Alvin Harper, man. What could have been? I think
Man,
he's next.
I could talk about so many dudes. I mean, including myself. If they would have been able to just keep us together, um, if they would have found a way to keep us together. Alvin Harper was a skill set dude at 6'4", had speed, big hands. Um, him and Mike could have both went into the Hall of Fame together because he had that type of ability. The only negative about Alvin is that Alvin didn't work like Mike. That was the difference. You remember how I told you the difference between Jerry Rice and John Taylor is the same story between Alvin Harper and Michael Irvin. Because Alvin Harper was more talented than him. And I got to say this, Michael Irvin's in the Hall of Fame. Michael Irvin's great. But Alvin Harper was more talented than Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
But Michael Irvin worked at being great. Alvin Harper worked at being good. John Taylor worked at being good. Jerry Rice worked at being great. Two different things.
Work ethic. That's it. That's the key to everything.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because those Cowboys teams were special, man. I think to me, I watched football for a long time. I think your Cowboys teams were the last truly great team because you had the depth. I mean, Jimmy Smith was on that squad.
I know, bro. Right? Look, you little punk too. No, but you know what? You saw it though in practice too, though. You saw Jimmy Smith, and that's how deep. You remember how I told you how deep our team was?
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Jimmy Smith?
Yeah.
Jimmy Smith is a Hall of Famer for the Jaguars, right? I think it was Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
He's a Ring of Honor for the Jacksonville. Bro, he was making catches in practice as a young buck, and you like, dude, who is this dude? And he could. That goes to show you how good our team was.
Yeah.
He couldn't even crack our lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the last.
He's getting killed in practice. Couldn't even crack our lineup. Yeah. He was that good.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go on. I can go to every position, man, where you can say, at one point when Thomas Everett was there, Darren Woodson, myself, and then Brock Marion comes in, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, who do you play?
Yeah, that was so deep.
You know what I'm saying? Who do you play? You know, Bill Bates got a lot of publicity for what? I don't know. But the fact is that he was a good mentor to keep guys together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Especially like when I first got there. Because he was able to keep that culture of what it is and that energy that you just don't have on special teams. And you remember I talk about all the phases. But then Kenny Gant came and became the Bill Bates of special teams.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, so then you look and say, we have so many dudes, offense and defensive linemen, so much depth. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you always say, what if you could keep that team together, how many championships? Like I told you, we probably went to 7. And the only thing that would have stopped us from losing all of them is injuries. You know, you can't foresee injuries. You know, once Charles Haley back, you know, it was times Charles Haley would get shot, man, and people don't even know it. And he didn't have 2 sacks in the game, had no business even playing in the game.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about whatever type of things that happen, bro, but just if you can keep those guys together. And see, a lot of people just talk about the offense, man, but the reason why the Dallas fell off is because they didn't take care of their defense guys. And I knew that once Ken Norton, they let Ken Norton go, mm-hmm. I knew that they was never going to pay certain guys on defense. Because Ken Norton was, and he's the only guy I think to win 3 championships in a row. I think he was the glue that made us so much different.
Yeah, I can
You
say.
know, and so we can talk all day about woulda, coulda, shoulda,
Oh yeah.
but I'm gonna tell you where it all started. It started over a drink and an owner telling the coach, you know, monkeys, I can get somebody, anybody can coach this team.
Mm.
That's where it went wrong, boss.
Yeah.
So everybody acts like where it went wrong. It went wrong right there.
Yeah. That's right. At the top.
Went wrong at the top.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Egos got too big.
Yeah.
Went wrong at the top.
Yeah, like I said, your squad was better than the Patriots. Nothing against the Patriots. They won 6 Super Bowls.
Oh yeah,
talent wise, y'all was better than them. Y'all better than them.
Bro, we. And I'm not being arrogant or nothing, man, but we would have smashed the Patriots.
Yeah.
Smash.
I had too much talent.
Smash.
Yeah.
I know they try to. You can't really compare generations to generations because actually, with the rule change, we probably wouldn't have been that good. Like how that, because we played. See, our defense, we played zone to man. After 10 yards, everything was man defense, but people didn't realize that. People thought it was a zone. It's our defense locked up to be man to man. I was the slowest dude in our secondary, man, and I ran a 4.4 in the secondary at 225 pounds. You feel me? So people don't get the size difference. I still try to figure out why Darren Woodson is not in the Hall of Fame. He's probably the best athlete that I've ever played with. I mean, ever. There's only 2 dudes on the planet that I can say that was, and I played with a lot of great guys. Darren Woodson is probably the best athlete. Carnell Lake, who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, is a A1, A2, AB, type of dude. Because once Darren understood how to play the game, which, I taught him everything that I could teach him, and he surpassed that. He was a great tackle. And he was a very disciplined player. Me personally, not so much. I didn't care about interceptions. I was trying to figure out how to knock people out every time, all the time. And you couldn't play like that now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You couldn't just hit people just to hit people.
Yeah.
And if you hit them too hard, it's a penalty. I don't know how that works, but whereas Darren could have played in any era, Carnell Lake could have played in any era because they were great athletes and they tackled well.
Okay. All right, man. Thanks for your time, man. It's been a great interview, man. Thanks for sharing your stories. Living the glory years of the Dallas Cowboys, man. That was some great conversation with you. Thanks for coming on the show, James Washington. Thank you.
Hey, man, thank you for having me, man. And you keep up the good work, and God bless you and bless your family and everything that you're doing, my man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
That's James Washington, man, former Cowboy.